2025 is the year of you and your specific person, and I wanted to make this video to start the year right and make the New Year's resolution that you can make with me to be with your specific person and spend the entire year with them. And so this video is the start of many that is going to create that outcome for you. But today I wanted to go over 3 basic ideas that is going to help create this outcome in the quickest way possible and hopefully answer some questions and erase any doubts you might have about the process. So here's the first one. And I know it's the question everyone's asking. Time does not matter when you are manifesting your specific person. You already have created everything you could ever want. So the idea of your specific person texting you today or next week or next month to your higher self and to your subconscious is the same exact thing. So basically, time doesn't matter, but there is something that does matter and something that you can utilize right now in order to be with your specific person, and that is the concept of frequency. So when you think of frequency, you probably think of tonality or vibrations, but neither of those is what we are talking about when I mention or state the word of frequency. I mean frequency as in the amount of times that you do something. So the more frequently that we're feeling into our end state, the more we're going to see our reality morph and change to the exact assumption that we're having. Even Neville Goddard talked about frequency being more important than time. So normally, how do we think we change our minds or change our assumptions? We feel as if we have to wait an amount of time. And this obviously is not something that's going to help us manifest instantaneously. Because if we have to wait time in order to make change, we're basically taking the power that you have to be anything right here and right now, and you're giving it away to something else. But if instead you understood that you could just assume and today, not tomorrow, not next week, not even having to wait a month, if today you increase the frequency at which you felt as if you already had your specific person, you would see an immediate change. And I know I'm already starting this video with potentially a very hard concept to grasp, that time doesn't matter, but that is truly your reality. And you don't have to believe it instantaneously. Try out the concept of frequency and you're going to see it for yourself. And with all of these ideas, I wanted to include a success story to just show you how these can change your reality instantaneously if we just act on them. So here's just a comment on one of my videos in which someone wrote, "It's working. I only just started watching these videos a couple days ago. My specific person couldn't stop talking to me today. We'll keep reporting back." So that's just the beginning of many different manifestations and many different successes this person was having just by watching these videos. And I know our logical mind wants to fight against that, thinking, what could just watching these videos do? But watching these videos puts you into the state, and the state and assumptions is exactly what reflects outside of you. Second, so the second idea is to remember the very basic idea that your reality is a mirror. And what do you do when you want to change something that is reflecting in a mirror? If you woke up this morning and got ready, but you didn't like the way that your hair looked, or you didn't like the shirt you were wearing, how often do you go into the mirror in order to change that as compared to changing yourself? And that's the same thing with manifestation and law of assumption. Many times we try to go into our external reality and change it and alter it through severe and intense action. But that is a lot of effort, and it only creates more of hard work or more effort because of the law of reversed effort, basically stating that the harder you try to do something, the harder it becomes. But if you remember that the mirror is just reflecting who you are and your reality in your specific person is just showing up in the way that you are assuming, then you can alter that mindset, alter that assumption, and immediately see a difference. So yes, your specific person is only acting in the exact way that they are based on your assumption and based on your state. And if you want to see something different, we just have to change ourselves. If you want to see a change in the mirror of whatever shirt you're wearing, you have to look at yourself and change the shirt on you, and the mirror immediately reflects it. But the more we try to spend time trying to go into the mirror in order to alter it, the more frustrated, the more anxious, and the more worried we just become. And so if you've ever felt any of those emotions while manifesting, it's most likely because we're trying to change our reality directly, but you are just reflecting yourself. Also, you might be thinking, yes, this is all fantastic, this is all great, but I have too much of a past with my specific person, in order to manifest them. I already made mistakes. There's already circumstances in my way. That's absolutely impossible. But that's completely not true. Your reality doesn't work on the past because the past and the future are all imaginary. The only experience you're ever having right here and right now is the now. And so I want you to let go of this idea that the past is actually in your way or stopping you from manifesting exactly what you want. Because the tactic I always tell everyone to do is to never undo the past, just act from the new state. So if you ever do something that isn't in alignment with what you want, so let's say that you are manifesting right here, right now, you start assuming the state, but then you accidentally blow up on your specific person or say something you don't want or anything that aligns with something negative. That's okay. Dwelling upon that negative event or that negative occurrence or negative action is actually the only reason it's perceived as negative. And if you continue to act from the new state, so you pick and choose a confident feeling or an abundant feeling, then you are going to see your reality begin to align with that. I've had many stories in not only coaching, but in my own reality where people made a mistake or what they perceived was a mistake, but continued to act from the new state and saw their reality make the mistake something that benefited them massively. For example, if you want to act as someone who is pursued and have your specific person chase you, but you accidentally chase your specific person at some point or another, it's never okay or never good to focus on that negative outcome and be like, oh my gosh, I chased them. I must have ruined it. How are they going to pursue me? If you instead act as a pursued individual or a confident individual, they will actually perceive you chasing them as another action of being pursued. You chasing them for that moment will actually create a further dynamic of making you more attractive and more desirable. But it all happens to be coming from this concept that we just act from the new state. We never try to undo the old. It doesn't matter what has happened between you and your specific person in the past. It doesn't matter what has happened with you and your specific person in 2024. Literally none of that matters. All that matters is what you're doing now and the way you're acting towards them now, the way that you are assuming at this current moment. Are you assuming them to be absolutely obsessed with you? If you are, then it doesn't matter if in the past you assumed the opposite. And for this, I just wanted to include another success story because I think it is perfect. It's kind of a long one, but it just shows how it doesn't matter what circumstance you have been through. If you assume the positive, you will see a difference. So this person was from my email coaching and wrote, "Hi Kyle, the thing that has been pretty incredible for me is releasing resistance. I realized that this was the cause of my past anxiety. So every day I've been checking in with myself to make sure I am free. I have seen quite a bit of movement with my specific person and have just been living in my wish fulfilled and going on about my business and living my life. Releasing the block has made me recognize just how powerful we are, and I am holding on to that. I've seen my specific person over the holidays. He left and he is returning today again." So this person has a past. I don't want to go too much into detail because of their privacy, but they had a long past with their specific person. And you can see how just by letting go of that and acting from the state now, they are seeing results and spending the holidays with their specific person, which is something that you can do too. And I also love they point out just how easy and effortless manifestation can be by acting this out, because they wrote, "I've just been living in my wish fulfilled and going about my business and living my life." When you're in the wish fulfilled state, everyone and everything begins working in favor to the outcome that you're assuming, just as a mirror is going to immediately reflect whatever you are putting in front of it, no matter what it is. Your reality wants to give you exactly what you want in the same way of the mirror. It wants to reflect exactly what you are putting in front of it. That's its only purpose. And so if you can act out these 3 ideas today, you are going to notice a difference with your specific person. Again, and I'll give you a few examples of how to do this. So frequency was the first one. So it matters less about how much time you put into your manifestation and more about how frequently you are embodying the state. So what that looks like is, instead of spending a week trying to be with your specific person or hoping that they show up in your reality, if you block out 5 different times today that you are going to affirm something positive and really feel it, you are going to have a greater effect at receiving what you want than if someone did the opposite and waited a year for their specific person. So yes, I'll restate that. You'll get more results in a day doing this than you would in a year otherwise. The second concept is the mirror. Remember, we're never changing our specific person. We're never changing the reflection in the mirror itself. We are changing what we are putting in front of the mirror, which is ourselves. So don't make your specific person like you. We're never changing their mind or altering their perspective. We are just becoming the person that they are obsessed with. And lastly, it doesn't matter what has happened in the past. If you act from the state now, you are going to see your reality and assumption align everything that has happened previously to work out in your favor. So it doesn't matter if you guys fought 24/7, had a horrible breakup, there's third parties, they cheated on you, whatever it is, that doesn't matter. If you act from the state now, you must see a reality that reflects it, because manifestation is always instantaneous. And I can go into more detail on that, but specifically, as soon as you make the decision to be with your specific person, your reality must reflect it in the same way that this happens in every other area of your life. We just haven't noticed it before. So if you know for a fact you are spending 2025 with your specific person, make sure to comment below, I'm spending 2025 with my specific person, or I'm spending 2025 married to my specific person, or whatever it is that you want, because setting that intention is half of the battle and can start that active frequency of feeling as if you already have what you want. Make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video if you are making sure that this is going to be your New Year's resolution. This is the year of you and your specific person, and not only are you going to work towards making that happen, I'm going to help you do it. If you did have any questions, make sure to comment them down below. Remember, you can also reach out to me on my website at kyleaugustcoaching.com. Hopefully you had a fantastic new year, and I can't wait for you to spend the rest of the year with your specific person.